Welcome back to the Women Veteran Entrepreneurs. We call it the WAVE podcast. My name is Omar Muhammad, helping you improve and progress in business and in life. As always, this is brought to you by Truist. And it's really a network for helping build the capacity of women-owned businesses. And today, we have a roundtable, and we're going to focus on, getting to certification. So we have the keynote, the expert, the one and only Denise Hayes, who is going to be talking about how to get certified. And we also have two entrepreneurs. We have Danya Zimmerman and we have Denise Hayes. And Denise, Alicia Brown Gray, my bad. And you are a Army vet. So thank you for your service.
Well, thank you.
All right. So you all know how this goes. You're tuned into this before. This is really episode number 4. We'll have a roundtable discussion. And then when they see me again, it'll be time to wrap up and we'll talk about some more resources. So ladies, I'm going to disappear in the background and the floor is yours. And make sure you introduce yourself, your companies and all that stuff, I should say. All right. I'm going to disappear.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, good afternoon, ladies.
Good afternoon.
So nice to see you guys virtually, of course. I just kind of went ahead and started off, I guess. I just want to introduce myself. First of all, thank you for your service. My name, again, is Denise Hayes. I'm a business development specialist with the U.S. Small Business Administration. So I can assist with certification on a federal level. And that is the Aaa program. That is the most common certification we have available. And I believe next month our guest will be someone speaking about the Veterans Certification Program. So you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves, and before I go on and on about details regarding the certifications, I'd like to hear more about you guys.
Alicia, you can go ahead. Oh, well, thank you. So my name is Alicia Browen Gray. I am the owner and founder of Illuminate Your Path, LLC. We started back in October of last year, which is a property management business. We also do notary. So we're in the beginning phases of getting our name out there, starting to market, trying to get familiar with learning how to do contracts and getting those relationships going. So I am just looking forward to getting some knowledge and some information and learning how to build a good resume and getting myself started on the right path in that area.
And Alicia, what's your website?
You can find me on the web at illuminateyourpathllc.com. I'm also on Instagram as well as Facebook.
All right. And hi, my name is Danya Zimmerman. I am the co-founder of the Ultimate Biz Consultants, and our mission is to educate aspiring entrepreneurs and startup businesses who have been in business no more than 7 years on how to protect their business assets. And with the assets, we put the dollar signs because a lot of people don't understand the importance of legally and financially protecting what you have worked hard for, because we all go into business to leave a legacy for our family. But a lot of people don't understand you have to protect yourself legally and financially for the what ifs in business. Like if you have a partnership that goes awry and you have to dissolve the partnership, what do you do? Or if you have that one customer who may have been harmed by, your products, or they were dissatisfied with the services you provided, you may be sued. So that's what we focus on. We help you build your business dream team. And you can find more information at www.ultimatebizconference.com and info@ultimatebizconference.com. And I am on Instagram as Powerful Biz Woman. And our Facebook page is the Ultimate Biz Conference. And our group is the Ultimate Biz Leaders.
Awesome.
So I think that you mentioned you guys are not currently certified. So there's so many different certifications out there that I could speak about. But again, just for now, I could focus on our main certification, which is the Aaa program. And all that is a federal level certification program that is for small and minority owned businesses that are socially and economically disadvantaged. So the 8A program is actually a 9-year program, and it's broken down into 2 parts. So years 1 through 4 are considered your developmental stages. So we'll work closely with you on developing your business, helping you get into any trainings that are necessary, catering your capability statements and getting as many 8A reserve contracts as possible. And then years 5 through 9 are considered the transitional stages. And that's when you're preparing to exit the program. So we'll work with you on getting non-8A contracts, because once you exit the program, you will no longer qualify for 8A contracts. So just to give a little bit of background in the federal government, there we have the Women-Owned Small Business Program, the 8A program, Hub Zone program, and Veteran-Owned Small Business Program. So the Woman-Owned Small Business and the 8A program each have a 5% set aside in federal government contracting. And the Veteran-Owned Small Business and Hub Zone business programs each have a 3% set aside in federal government. And when I say set aside, that's just purchases that are reserved between the, I think there's, let me see, it's the amounts. I want to get my dollar amounts wrong. Between $3,500 and $250,000. Those are all set aside for those programs, and they're divvied out any type of way to fit those percentages. And of those all percentages do combine to contribute to the overall small business goal of 23% in federal government spending. Like I said, the 8A program is the most common one. It is a once in a lifetime certification program. So once you get certified and you finish your 9 years, you cannot re-enter the program. It is one time only. So it's very important to apply to that program when you're absolutely ready. Because once you get that welcome letter, your time starts. And they usually like you before you're certified to just make sure you're ready for government contracting on a federal level. Make sure you're able to demonstrate past successful performance on contracts. Make sure you have the capabilities and capacity to perform on any contracts. And just make sure you understand the regulations that we use, just the federal acquisition regulations. So have an understanding of those and make sure you're able to and ready to perform on a contract at any given time, because what some firms do is they get certified too quickly or too soon, and maybe within the first 2 or 3 years in the program, they haven't gotten any 8A contracts. And that does have a lot to do with marketing. So it's really good to know that you guys are on social media, because I can't stress enough how important marketing is, especially for a small business. I tell my clients that all the time, and it's actually a part of our eligibility requirements. So first of all, you have to be in business for at least 2 years, operating under your primary NAICS code. There is a waiver for the 2-year requirement. That's evaluated on an individual basis. If you have not generated any revenue, you will not be able to waive the 2-year rule. That. But that's a whole separate process. You have to be able to have the management capability and business capacity to carry out your business plan effectively. And that's what they're going to look at when you're trying to waive that 2-year rule. In addition to being in business for 2 years, you have to be able to maintain the balance between your commercial and government contracting. Again, that's just understanding the regulations. Like I said, we go by federal government. They go by the FAR regulations, federal acquisition regulations. And again, the second requirement, you have to have marketing ability. A lot of people really believe once they get certified that business will come knocking down their door, and that's not how it works. And it sucks, but that's what it is. Nobody knows who you are, honestly. So you're going to have to put in that extra work to make those contacts with the federal agencies that you want to do business with. And even if it's like just something small, I definitely recommend starting off small just to get your foot in the door and build that relationship with that particular agency. So, you know, if they see you, they give you a chance working on something small and they see you were successful and you're reliable. Okay, now we can work with them again, maybe on something on a larger scale. And it's hard, I understand, but once you are, the good thing is, once you're certified in the ADA program, you're going to be assigned a business development specialist, such as myself, and they will work with you one-on-one. So if you're having any issues at all, like getting in touch with a particular agency, or you're having trouble bidding on a particular contract, your business development specialist can assist you with that. That's the part of the business development portion of the 9-year program. So that one-on-one assistance is a big benefit of the ADA program. We also want you to ensure you have the proper NAICS codes under your certification. You can have multiple NAICS codes. And I'm saying that, do you guys know what NAICS codes are? I'm sorry. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So you can have more than one, just you can only have one primary NAICS code. And your primary NAICS code is where you earn a majority of your revenue. Any of those are considered secondary NAICS codes. So just make sure you have them all, because when you complete your SAM profile, that is what federal agencies will reference when they're looking up different firms to perform on a contract. And if you're missing a particular NAICS code, you've been missing out on contract opportunities. And what I do, again, personally with my firms, if I get a offer for one of them and I look at the profile and they don't have a NAICS code listed, I'll reach out to the firm and tell them that, hey, there's a potential offer coming your way, but this NAICS code isn't listed in your profile. You just go back and add that.
Okay.
And add it, you know, then they can qualify for that offer. So there is the economic disadvantage portion. So whoever the owner is that's claiming disadvantage status, the personal net worth cannot exceed $750,000. And that personal net worth does not include your primary personal residence, and it does not include the business that's seeking certification. The business must be at least 51% independently owned and controlled by a socially and economically disadvantaged individual. Social disadvantage, there are certain areas that are considered or presumed to be socially disadvantaged, so that's African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Native Americans, Asian Pacific Americans, subcontinent Asian Americans. They're all presumed to be socially disadvantaged. And if you're not in one of those categories, you can still try to prove that you are socially disadvantaged. And again, that's evaluated on an individual basis. And of course, you just have to have that diminished ability to compete in contracting, and that's based on your social or economic status. So those are some of the requirements as it relates to certification. All together, it could take right now 90 to 120 days to get certified. It is all online though, and the communication is done in the certified portal. So you submit your application to certify. If you're missing anything, the representative will send you a message and certify. You can go back and upload whatever you're missing, and then they'll continue processing it at that point. And I can even assist with that portion. I don't work directly with the actual certification portion, but I do have access to the certified database. So I'm able to get you the direct email and phone number to the representative. If you haven't heard from them in a while, or if you're not understanding what they're asking for, I can help you get a direct contact with the representative. They're usually responsive in a certified messaging system, but some people just prefer direct email communication. I can help with that. So, and we do offer a monthly workshop. It is free. It is online right now. It's the fourth Thursday of every month, except November. And if you would like, I can just email you the flyer if you want to register for one of those sessions. That's fine too. Best to reach via email. It is denise.hayes@sba.gov. That's where to reach me. And I think that just about covers the gist of the 8A program. If you guys have any questions, I guess you can, open the floor for questions.
Denise, I have one question because during pandemic, I had a lot of clients who wanted to do business with the government, but they didn't have everything they needed in order to get into like the 8A certification. Like, is it advisable for individuals to make sure they have their business plan and financials and be incorporated as a business? Would you advise that?
Absolutely. The business plan is actually required when you're getting your certification, because once you get your official welcome letter, your assigned specialist is going to review your business plan and go over that with you during your orientation. So business plans require, financial statements are a requirement as well.
Okay.
I believe it's the past 3 years. It might be 5 now if they've updated the system. That's 5 years of your financial statements and tax returns. And they're on the certified.sba.gov website. There is like a knowledge base that talks about the required documentation that is necessary before you submit your application. So you will not get certified if you don't have at least your business plan and your financial statements together.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have one more question. What about like insurance? Should you wait to get the insurance based on the contract once you get through the 8A program and get that first contract? Because that's another issue I have with individuals is like, especially service-based that I deal with. I always tell them at least get professional liability insurance. And then when you get your certification and contract, find out what type of insurance, but at least get professional liability because a lot of businesses don't get the insurance they need.
Oh, no, that is super important. I know Omar can attest to this. He used to hold a session from this other group. The 3 things you're going to need as a business, especially as a startup business: an attorney, an accountant, and insurance.
Exactly.
Those are necessary. Now, they're not necessarily required for certification purposes, but as a business owner in general, it's a necessity. You're going to need those 3 things. I definitely do not wait until you're about to get on a contract to get any of these things done. That's going to be a burden to you as a business owner. You don't want to wait for something to happen and then you need something. You always, my mom always said, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So
yeah, and that's what I try to tell people. When you get these first starting out with government contracts, you need to know what is in the contract. And you don't want to, like when we took the government, Alicia, were you part of the
boot camp?
Yeah, the boot camp. And the one thing I really loved about them was that they kept emphasizing, you better read that contract, because if you underball yourself and say I can do it at 150,000, and then once you hit that 150,000, you're stuck. And that's why, like you say, Denise, an attorney is very important because the attorney can go over the contract and you can negotiate with the government. I think a lot of people get afraid, oh, I got this contract and I'm not going to negotiate. But what I loved about what Dawn said, she said, you have to negotiate those. And then Sonia said, you got to negotiate those numbers. And like you say, that's why I think it's important for things like Morgan and what you are doing at the SBA. People need to understand, have an attorney. So when you're doing government contracting, they can read everything for you and help you.
Yeah. Because we know we're reading those contracts, even us non-business owners, we signing our life away on documents, not even reading it, don't even know. That's how it is. You guys, someone gets paid to do that. Let them do their job, because it's very important. And I'm trying to say, this is so off topic. I just purchased a house, and I signed
congratulations!
Congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah, but I tried to get out of my contract because there were some things that I was like, this doesn't seem right. Like, why can't we get this instead? Like, what? Like, nope, you already signed it. Like, oh, well, so that's like, even if you're not owning a business, that's anything, you're signing your name on. You read these documents, because you are going to just hurt yourself in the end if something happens and you're like, oh, oops, I didn't know I signed that. Like, yeah,
Right.
Mhm.
you did, and you have nothing can happen at that point.
Yeah. And I tell people, you don't think the government don't have their counsel looking at the
Oh, yeah.
contract review, and they're going to try to counter offer you, and you sitting up here without an attorney. It's like, it just baffles my mind. Yeah, that's
Yes. They try to take advantage of you as a small business, especially because they're going to look at you as if you don't have all your ducks in a row. Like you so desperate for this work,
Right.
want to take what we give you. Like, no, do not do that. They don't no.
yeah.
Always be
Now-
prepared.
Now, Denise, I do have a question.
Mhm.
What would be your advice to someone like myself, just starting out, don't have that 2 years yet, under the belt? What would be the first beginning steps that I should take? I've made the step to do the boot camp, and I'm,
Okay.
learning during the process. But what would you recommend
Okay.
going
Do
forward?
you have your business plan already?
I'm in midway point of my
Okay.
business plan.
That would be your very first step because even if the assistance with your business plan, our resource partners like the Maryland Procurement Technical Assistance Center and the Small Business Development Centers, they're our resource partners. They offer free assistance to building your business plan and your capability statements. Those are your two beginning documents, so to speak. Also, you could look into the state level certification. So the Maryland Minority Business Enterprise Program, that's done through the Department of Transportation, MDOT. That's another free certification on same thing as the Aaa program, but on a state level. And it's for our minorities. And the good thing with their certification is that their social categories also include women. So you can be duly certified as a woman-owned business and African-American-owned business, and Hispanic American-owned business, and like you have two under your belt with them. And like I said, like you're saying, they don't have a business requirement like as far as how long you've been in business. So you can start your business today and apply for certification with MDOT. So I would definitely start there while you're waiting for your mark to come up. So get on some of those state level government contracts so you can bring that government contracting experience to the federal level when you are ready for the federal certification.
Okay, thank you so much. And you said that's called the program. What was the name of the program again?
It's the MBE, Minority Business Enterprise.
Thank you.
No problem. I even got the point of contact. You can contact Vashti Hyatt. Her email is Hyatt is PYATT.
Okay.
At MDOT. Maryland, and that's Maryland spelled out. .gov. And she can assist with that. She hosts those free monthly workshops for their program, and they are the first Tuesday of every month.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I think that I have your guys' email addresses. I'm not sure if I do or not, but if you send me an email, I could send you the information on our monthly workshop, and I could send you the links to the Maryland PTACs and the Small Business Development Center. Those are those free technical assistance that offer. Also, the GOSPA, the Governor's Office of Small Minority and Women Business Affairs, they host monthly trainings as well. There's so many free trainings out there. It's always talk about things before people go on pay for advice. Not trying to take a bite out of business, nothing like that. Sure. But to take advantage of some of these, where your tax dollars are going. We're paying for these things. So
definitely
take advantage of those services.
Definitely appreciate all the free resources.
Yeah, I get it.
Me too. Thank you. So it's Denise.Hayes at SBA.gov, right?
Yes.
Okay.
HAY, yes.
Okay. Sorry, Alicia.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I'm gonna come back on and ask a question. We got about 7 minutes left, but I do want to, and I like what you said, Denise. For those individuals who are waiting for their 2 years to really kick in, look around for local and state opportunities as well. And you mentioned a business plan. I have some challenges with the business plan, but you need the business plan to really for you. You the entrepreneur. And if these government agencies are looking for it, and if the lenders are looking for it, make sure that you're putting it in writing, and don't overanalyze. Oftentimes entrepreneurs, they've been working on their business plan for 10 years because they keep going back and forth.
Not exaggerating.
I'm guilty.
Oh, I didn't mean to call you out, but yeah, so put that business plan together, your action plan, and then as you said, read the details. Oftentimes, we're going to talk about mentor protege probably in September, but people are so excited to do business with the Department of Defense or an IBM, and they're not really looking at the details of the contract. So as you go in and do these certifications and you win a bid, it's not just going to come to you. You have to go out and do the work to win the bid. As Denise was saying, make sure that you put your eyes on the contract, because that's going to be important. I think, Donnie, you said this too, that, the government, they got their people looking at it as well. So you want to make sure that you have an attorney, an accountant, and somebody that really understands government contracting to put their eyes on it as well.
Yeah. And we even offer I think it's on our website, but if not, I can send you guys the document. We have a template for a business plan that a majority of the firms seeking certification will use when they submit their business plan to us. So this is a very simple, user-friendly template, just specific questions for you to answer. And that's what we evaluate when we're evaluating your business plan. That's the template we use.
All right. Any other questions or any other discussions? I do. It seemed like both you two have service businesses. So Denise, from your background, your experience, how do service businesses fare when it comes down to any type of certification?
I've always answered that type of question by saying, some people don't believe that they have a fit in government contracting because they offer services and not products. The government buys everything, everything from a computer, IT equipment, cleaning services, all the way to goats. So they literally buy everything. There's an agency for everything. And if you're curious to find out what agency in particular is purchasing which you provide, just look on sam.gov. That's for the federal level at least. EMA is for the state level. So look on those databases, and you can type in a keyword for what you offer, and it'll tell you who's bought it in the past, who's currently looking for it, who's going to be looking for it in the future. So use those systems to find out that's a good way to find out your starting point as far as getting your foot in the door, like who's going to be your target agencies. Just do that research ahead of time. You gotta get in contact with them.
Absolutely. All right, ladies, if you can give out your contact information, how can people find you once again? We'll start with you, Denise.
Yes, again, I am best reached via email. It is denise.hayes@sba.gov, and that's HAYES.
Absolutely. All right, Alicia, you next.
Yes, the best way to reach me is also by email, illuminateyourpathllc@aol.com. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook at Illuminate Your Path LLC, and my website is illuminateyourpathllc.com.
All right, Alicia, spell illuminate. Spell it out for people.
It's spelled ILLUMINATE, like illuminate. So
That's
it's all
right.
together, illuminateyourpathllc.com.
Absolutely. All right, Danya.
And my website is www.ultimatebizconference.com, and it's info@ultimatebizconference.com or ultimatebizconference@gmail.com. And my Facebook group is the Ultimate Biz Leaders. And on LinkedIn, I'm Danya Zimmerman, JD.
You say JD?
Yes, JD.
All right, good deal. All right, before we leave out, just want to let people know that we have an entrepreneurship boot camp. I believe Danya and Alicia, you participated in the one that we just had, but we have one that's coming up. We also have access to capital. We do this workshop here, well, podcast that we do. We also do a webinar, and we have a conference that's coming up next year. So stay tuned to that. Really appreciate you all for coming on to the Wave podcast. We'll see you next time, and much success to your business. And thank you, Denise, for sharing the great information about certification.
And thank you, Denise. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Omar.
Thank you for the opportunity and the resources.
All right, thank
Mr.
you.
Omar.
All right, you call me Omar. All right, so all right, y'all. Until next time, continue to improve and progress. Take care.